love that universe.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Twitch. The universe Graham is talking about is not the one we're in. It is an alternative universe. Please mute Twitch on your device.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't realize. All done. See, this universe is not perfect, but it'll do.
Consummate professionals every second.
Absolutely, yes,
of live streaming.
I know the meaning of at least one of those words.
Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to Twitch and Coriolis. I was laughing to myself when I was planning this session because this is we're playing Coriolis. We're returning to Coriolis tonight and then returning to Coriolis tonight. Amusing for at least one person in the stream. But returning to Coriolis, who was with me? Graham, because we've already discussed that you wanted to go to a different universe. So
I mean, Coriolis will do perfectly fine. I very much like playing Coriolis. It's
good.
ace.
Good. And does Cecilia like living in the Third Horizon?
I think Cecilia likes their life now more than when they were in the colonial agency. Oddly, he has a bit more agency. Life is very interesting, and there's big stuff going on.
Interesting. Cool. Pete, what universe are you in?
I'm in some
616.
sort of 2x2 room. It's probably one square on an old school map, 4 squares on a new school map. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm looking forward to Yusuf doing a bit more mind bullets. Should be fun. I'm just trying to stay a little quiet so I don't wake up the recently enslumbered. Is that a word? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It is now.
Cool. And I've got my wine, so I'm ready.
Excellent. And does Yusuf enjoy living in the Coriolis universe?
He does at the moment. He used to not a lot because he was on Algol and I mean a slave. So, that was pretty shit. And then he escaped and he never wants to go back. But if there are arseholes from Algol hanging around,
yeah. I was musing earlier that we have 3 characters who have come from Algol. Obviously, there was Zelian, who originally came from Algol, and then there's also Silsila and Yusuf. So it must just be a place people are like, let me out.
It's horrible on Algol.
Yeah. It's
The
terrible.
description of it is like, don't go to Algol, it sucks.
Yeah, it's like a poverty-stricken mining backwater where everybody's owned by somebody else.
Also called the Demon Planet, which must be really hard for the Algolian tourist board.
Yeah.
Come to the Demon Planet. Because everybody has to live in pressure domes and the atmosphere is not.
Nah, you just market it to like extreme sports bros.
It feels a little bit like the Seleucia Secundus or Arrakis of the Coriolis world, where all the best heroes come out of the darkest corners of the universe to shine the light.
Now,
like
I
that
think you'll find
narrative.
the Arrakis planet is more like Dabaran.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, sorry.
And if
I'm
we're shining
I'm a
light-
throat singer.
Throat singer.
I love that bit. That's the brilliant. Anyway,
was like
speaking
Pond
of
Baba.
Dabaran, how are you, Ben?
I am well. I have my Coriolis themed snacks. I've got some fig rolls and some dates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So appropriate Coriolis based snacks.
Nice.
feel like
And
have some-
how does Shanaz enjoy living in the Third Horizon?
Shanaz enjoys it very, very much because she's fabulously wealthy and people do what they're told.
Okay, yeah, that works. That works very much.
Also, now that she's found out that scamming people for money is hilariously fun, a little bit of crime goes a long way.
A little bit of crime goes a long way.
A little bit
I
of
feel
crime.
we've kind of like tainted Nazi's worldview because, I think we
Well,
maybe
we're rubbing off on each other. That's part of being a
little bit
crew.
of crime.
Yeah, it's part of being a crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm technically an aristocrat now, so that's all good.
Yeah,
Means I
yeah.
hate you.
I mean, fair enough. I'm probably conflicted about it myself, but
A lot has happened in...
I'll adopt you. You can be one too.
Well, I now have a fancy coffee maker, so
Hey, that was mine.
I think you'll find it's Adia's. They've
True.
claimed it.
I mean,
They're gonna plumb it in. They claim it. Gosh, we've got up to a lot in the last 19 episodes, but we have come to the end of a mission thing. So we're going to do some XP, which I don't have the flashy little levies set up on this layout, so we'll just have to read them. And I like the first question in every Free League game. It's like, did you take part?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's all
I
have
was there.
1 XP. Did you overcome a difficult challenge to help your crew reach its current goal?
I mean,
Yes.
after like 19
survived the-
episodes.
It
Yeah,
survived the attack and the landslide.
we did. Shot a whole bunch of people. Did not murder the Mine Lord after 3 seconds of meeting him, or any further time after meeting him. Our ship blew up.
Yeah, that was.
We did manage to overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shinaz negotiated successfully with someone from the Black Lotus.
Yeah, yeah.
That was difficult.
To not murder me and possibly you as collateral just because you knew me. Also robbed a guy for 500,000 burr,
Yes.
which was to our benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Silver would like to ring him up and tell him whatever the solar equivalent of that, just to rub his nose in it a little bit.
No, it's much funnier if he doesn't know.
Finds out a long, long way from now. All right. So yes, there were some difficult challenges that were overcome. So everybody gets a second XP for that. Did you put yourself or your crew at risk because of your personal problem? I think this is. I think there's an element here of I need to put personal problems on the table a little bit more.
No.
No for Yusuf. How about
But I
Silsila?
may do soon.
That's a good point. Yeah. How about with Silsila? Did they?
So mine is overconfidence, which happens a lot for Silsila, I think.
Just like
Mine's
I mean,
a bit more specific.
Yeah, I mean, this is post the bit where I threw myself down the rock chimney, yeah?
this is
Because-
the last 6 sessions,
Okay,
whatever you want to
okay.
call them. Just while we went to the Caladrina and the shithole that is below it. Did I say shithole? I meant the lovely venue of Aram's secret.
It was a
Aram's Ravine.
shithole.
I will have to think about that. I'm not
Still wasn't as bad as Algol.
It still wasn't as bad as that. That's actually the
Not even
Aram's
half.
Ravine tourist boards, not as bad as Algol.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is the Spice Widow who wrote that. So, you know.
Yeah, I'll have to have a think, because I'm like, this is from when we got there to the whole moon thing. We
Mhm.
did so much on the moon, it's hard to like.
Yeah.
Did you learn something new about yourself or another PC?
Oh, I definitely got that last one because
Oh, yeah,
I
personal problem. Sorry, yeah.
significantly put everybody at risk with my personal problem. Which- I
in
mean, what is my
head-
personal problem, to be fair? Because it's sort of one thing and then another. But I think having the alarms tempo come down on you and go, "Oi, you pretended to be us."
Yes, that it was like I think there's opportunity here to maybe think about the next personal problem for Shanaz, or whether something's like in the evolution of her.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess everybody else may learn that Silsila's a stone cold killer.
we are beginning to form that.
Like John
opinion.
Wicked like 7 people, so.
Yeah.
Did I learn anything about myself? I think the whole, the sword. I didn't realize how much Silsila would. Yeah, that's what I actually need. Yeah, in fact, after that was last time, wasn't it? With the people I shot in the head one kill. That was in the first thing.
Mhm.
The
So
second
yeah,
one was
in
just
the
a
that was on Dabaran.
multi-crit per person per roll sort of thing.
Here, you like on Dabaran, you did like the whole sort of, I know how to use all these guns and knives and stuff, and then on Aram's Ravine on Gina, you did like the whole tactical retreat
Yes, with Yusuf.
with
Yeah.
Yusuf. So, are we learning that Zilsila is actually some sort of special
Badass.
special operative who's trying to get away from that,
Okay.
Oh,
or are we definitely learning things?
Yeah,
about
I
him.
mean, I didn't have that before we came here, but out of what happened and just rolling 66 on every single hit, it was like a killer.
Nice.
Is this
okay.
us learning stuff about Silsilla or Silsilla learning stuff about Silsilla?
I think this is Graham learning things.
Yeah,
about
like
Silsilla.
I just had a vague, was in the space agency, left because didn't like being told what to do. And then when we got into the fights, it was like, hey, here's a lot of crits. Others like people are dead and more people are dead. I was like, must have learned how to use it. That's why I took the sword as well, I think. Like, yeah,
and you look cool with a sword, so.
Does look cool.
yes.
From PDF. How about Yusuf? What did we learn about him?
I think I've learned that Yusuf like cares about something beyond surviving, and is like really interested in. There's all this weird shit going on, and the mystic gene and the Sabitha and all that stuff, and for some reason he's sort of feeling like it's all connected, and maybe, So he's kind of like now looking at that and going, we need to. There's a reason I got a foul goal,
Yeah. Okay. And Shanaz.
I think when this,
sorry,
when this problem maybe resolves itself, or if not, in the next, round, I might change it up for something a bit more like desperate to discover what's going on or something. I don't know.
I actually quite like the idea of switching personal problems after a while. Like you've either overcome it or moved past it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think because obviously when you create your character, like we're like 20 sessions in, like that's a lot of change.
Yeah, that's some personal growth right there.
Yeah, so it can't just be static. Like you gain XP, your character grows, and that kind of stuff. Oh God, that got philosophical.
Deep.
Deep.
Don't let people put you in a box.
Yeah, don't let people put you in a box. It's a wonderful story about that. I'll tell you on Discord later. Join us on Discord! Discord, where Gartopia lives. Anyway, did Shanaz learn something about herself or another PC?
Yeah, I think she did. She learned that people very much assume that she was the person she was presenting as, and it's kind of a trap because it means that people weren't taking her seriously. So she's actually got ambitions now to be more and do more. And yeah, beforehand it was be famous, make money, roll lies at people who think you're an idiot. And now it's bigger. It's the whole third horizon is a thing. And she's seen the crap that people like Yusuf have had to go through and realizes that there is an element of privileged Dabaran about her and that privilege can be put to good use.
Nice. Yeah. So everybody can have an XP there. Did you sacrifice or risk something? It says for your PC buddy, but I'd extend that to like your crew.
Yeah, we're a trio, really, aren't we? So
yeah.
And that in extension is like Kirsch or Adia, now Ninajak, or Homer or Basile, or.
Did we get Basile?
No, I think he stayed behind.
Oh.
Next time.
Go back to Caladuna. Next Spa mission.
He must have had a steward rating of at least 2.
Like, book a suite, let the lizard loose in it, and then you can either clean it up or come with us.
You don't get XP for risking things for the lizard. The lizard doesn't have a name yet either.
It's not our lizard, it's Kirsch's lizard.
No, I think I asked on Discord as well, what should we name the lizard, and it just descended into silliness. Can't imagine why. But yeah, did we risk something for somebody else on the crew?
So, I guess me and Yusuf risked our lives to go back to that place to collect the special stuff for Shanaz. We risked our own hides for stupidity and booze quite often. Going back to the canteen to look for the cultists just by like randomly staring at people.
Don't know what you mean.
Yeah, no, me neither, no.
We risked our lives initially to like go and not get the scientist horribly murdered in a landslide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's specifically for your crew. It's not for
for crew.
It's not
Okay.
for Homer.
Oh yeah, so we did go back to the scene, which was dangerous.
I think Shanaz risked her life for the crew. Like that whole stuff with the lotus and the temple and so that stuff was dangerous. And then also, she put a lot on the line talking to the biosculptors as well. That was
for Silsilla.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes. And then the last one, did you act in accordance with your icon?
Gambler?
The gambler? The
Kind of.
gambler.
Taking a bit of a chance often and, living my life by a bit of a whim.
Bit of a chance.
Chance. What is Silsilla's icon?
It's the deckhand. I picked it because it's the most appropriate for a pilot, but now I sort of treat it now as like standing up for the small people.
Okay.
Which I guess means that Silsilla doesn't see himself that way. Yeah, I mean, that's why we collected all those waifs and strays, wasn't it? Anyone from like Adir and Kirsch to Ninajak and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And not taking the Mine Lord's offer. Because at the time, we thought that would make us quite rich. And we're just like, no, this guy's a dickhead. I'm not doing this in the slightest.
I grew to have a weird affection for him though, because he's just like so committed to the whole Mine Lord thing. I was like,
he was committed to the bit.
He was like, it's been 10 years, mate.
But he was committed to it.
Yeah. It's when like you find out like something daft, like he's been there for 10 years and not once has anybody seen it. Like, what? What?
I wondered if there was more than one, like they just took turns wearing the armor.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
that would have been cooler than the
Could
truth.
you look at all of his crew and see if there was one missing? And like, hang on, we didn't see you last time.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. Oh, excuse me, fizzy pop. Who is Shanaz's icon? I mean,
the dancer.
She herself is an icon, but
yeah. I think we can safely argue that she acted in accordance with the dancer, given that she kind of pretended to be her at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was certainly a performance that the dancer would accept.
And the dancer is also about grace under pressure and getting out of trouble and things like that as well, which is kind of her thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we all did in accordance with our icon.
Excellent.
So that's another XP. So how many XPs did we get? 5 for Pete, which is enough for a new talent or an advance on a skill. How did you do, Graham?
I got 5 as well. There's one I couldn't decide whether I got it or not, so I chose not to.
What couldn't you decide?
It was the
It's the third or fourth one.
it was this personal problem.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a too much confidence thing. Yeah. I am going to change that, I think, because now it's just... it's more a lifestyle than a problem, I think.
It's your brand, right?
It's a brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's Silsilla's problem. I think it's sometimes a brand of Graham personal problem, like confidence and chaos.
I mean, sometimes...
Can we take our headphones off at this point when you two have this conversation?
One of my first ever characters was, what if real life Tom Cruise thought he was movie Tom Cruise? And a bit of that sneaks into every single character.
I thought he does.
Well, yeah. So that character used to do all kinds of stupid stuff, like when Silsilla jumped into that rock chimney because he may have fatally missed what the grab belt stick. That's exactly that sort of thing that stems from that. That's my first ever D&D thing. So. But yes, I think I will change to the perhaps the dark history.
Okay, so that's going to be your new personal problem, and you got 5.
I have to pick something.
5, but you don't have to. You could keep them.
Yeah.
I think there's a rule that you can't hold on to more than 10 XP at any time. But that could be a different system.
I mean, between this week and next week, I'll either read the book or I don't know. I'll pick something up.
Pick a new talent. And how did you do, Ben? How did Shanaz?
That took me up to 10 because I had 4 banked, and that got me 6. So
nice.
Yep.
So things you can do with the XP. 5 XP will get you a new talent. I think a little while ago I shared there are talents specifically in the last Cyclade book have been given out. Some of them are mystic power talents.
I took them all.
You put them all in there.
Oh no, there's a mind shield or something.
There's a mind shield, which I think comes from the first book, where you can fly things around.
Yeah, but just to protect yourself. I really want mind bullets, but they don't really do that in this.
No. There was one I saw earlier in the book when I was prepping, which is faction agent, and you can become an agent for a specific faction. And they might give you more info and secret stuff and that kind of thing. Well, they might not. It's quite a vague. GM can decide not to. One. And you could raise a skill, not an attribute, so not your not like your basic things, but a skill. So if you and that includes like advanced skills as well, which would be, if you don't have a number in, you don't get to roll. So you could put a 1 in something you had a 0 in, and now get to roll some dice rather than fail.
I think I'm going to find myself another John Wick style feat, because I took point blank after critting those 2 people, and that was beautiful last time. So many people were just like, "You've got no liver or more face. You're dead." Next one.
Just hurt them.
Yeah.
Just really hurt them.
Bigger gun, extra feet. That's the way Soul Sailor's going to go.
Okay.
Considering more mind powers.
You have a mind power that removes darkness points, because that's quite a high number.
Unfortunately, no. The opposite is true.
No.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You need that Star Wars talent where it's like you steal all the darkness points from the GM or something. That's what you want. You can't use anymore.
Yeah.
Box 4 kills the character.
There's the Exorcist one where you can enter a
yeah.
trance and exorcise an intruding spirit from someone.
I think
I
Carver's
assume
had that
20
one.
darkness points would be quite powerful, wouldn't it?
Certainly would fuel a lot of talents that bad guys have, yeah. I need to use them
No
more
worries,
often.
let's go and find them. Do we have a core book?
Yes, in fact, it's over here.
I'll have a small browse. There is time.
I don't know, maybe in keeping with my kind of gambler icon, I could take the intuition mystic power.
Oh, that's cool, actually. Yeah, I
Get
think
to
you
ask
should.
the GM a simple yes/no question about anything in the game world. They must answer truthfully, yes, no, or maybe. They may answer maybe, even if they know the answer, if they think answering yes or no would upset the game too much.
Yeah, I think that's in every single free league one, isn't it? Because it's in Boston as well.
Yeah.
But it is cool. And
I mean,
it is...
that would feed in with Yusuf's, like, my mind expanding across the horizon, sort of.
Yeah, and it sounds fun.
It does,
and annoying for Millie.
We can use it for Shanaz questions like, what is the most annoying spelling of Shanaz for these t-shirts?
Yeah. Would
Shabazz.
t-shirts or cups annoy her more?
I mean, I can't answer questions
Oh yeah.
It's in game.
about
It's the
Ben's
most annoying.
What would
character's
thing.
sell
choices.
better?
Yes or no?
What would
Oh, okay.
sell better?
Yeah.
Oh, Andy
What-
Griffin, thank you very much for
Yeah.
the bits.
What would sell better, I can answer, because obviously I know the whims of the people of the horizon.
Yeah, it says opinions, morals, and worldviews can make something true to someone and false to someone else. The Jedi are evil to me.
All right, then. Are we en route to Coriolis? Do you need me to make piloting rolls, or are we all good?
I imagine the route from Caladrina to Coriolis, because we were just on the edge of Coriolis official jurisdiction. Like, they're just hugging that very, like, marker space boy. Keep outside of the law, out that way, and the taxes. So I imagine the route is very well traded and rather easy to navigate, but it does take, like, there's no portal hopping from there to there. So it does take a little while rather than straight flying, in which folks have time to practice things like, I don't know, ninja skills or mind bullets or... Shanaz was going to opt for some biosculpting as one of her talents.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of work done. Nothing over the top.
I kind of imagine Shanaz as a T-1000.
But it also gives time for Shanaz to convalesce.
Heal. Yeah, convalescence time. It's important.
Also gives Yusuf time to make some talismans if he so wishes.
Yes, please.
Oh yes, I was going to spend my time teaching Curse to fly the ship better.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a choice between either 9 lives, rapid reload, or more likely executioner, I think. Yeah.
Executioner is good.
The one that flips the dice.
It
gives
is,
you
it
two
is, because
options.
like we don't really have a combat character per se, as I'm really supposed to fly the ship and put a lot of my stuff into that. Yusuf just manages to roll amazingly well with the machine guns, which by itself is a whole feat and a talent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I might take executioner. Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to pick like immediately if you want to take a little while to decide.
Well, I said
Okay.
I was going to tap into a dark past sort of problem, so I think executioner. Silsila certainly shoots a lot better than he should for someone who used to drive a spaceship.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So Silsila, after some time off, is now remembering his marksman skills and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what I'm practicing. Like, I'm going to need these again, so let's get that last 10% worth of skill level
We
up.
have a montage, it like in different parts of the ship where Silsila is like practicing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we've decided to return to Coriolis, and it's the first time in some months that we've managed to make our way back. The last time we were here, there was like the Coriolis Air Patrol teamed up with the flight school from the Monolith, like monitoring space around it after they destroyed the Imla Hayat, I think it was.
The prior ships.
Yeah,
This is where we stole a bus and tried to go to fight in it.
Yes, yeah, you were going to go out and fight in the dogfight, but chose to maybe just stay alive, which is good. But yeah, last time we saw there was terrible war stuff going on, not war stuff, terrible conflict kind of stuff going on. People trying to flee, also a lockdown of types on the Coriolis station. There was the sanatorium burnt down. It was a month or so of chaos.
I had a slight moment of relief, and I remembered, no, that wasn't us. We just ran into it to see people were in it.
Yeah, we put on like high vis and did the Banksy entrance
Yeah.
style thing, where we pretended that we should be there. All right, so in the segment of the Gambler, in the novena of what is it? Novena of Incense? Is that what it's called? Oh, Novena of Light. Sorry, Novena of Light. Like the third week of the month of the Gambler. We managed to return to Coriolis. Almost a third of this Coriolis cycle already done. We head back and we get into like the docking kind of orbit to join the net. The net is this huge array, like the bones of the ship that brought everybody here. The Zilithian ship that brought everybody here, and by everybody we mean not the people who are already here, but the ones that count. That's the politics. But yeah, the bones of the ship.
I beg your pardon.
Exactly. Silsila brought people like Silsila to the horizon because he is a Zenithian.
Yeah, like my granddad was mopping the floors, and I guess next week I'm cooking the fries, or however that goes.
Mm-hmm. So the bones of that is turned into like this massive sort of parking structure where you can dock your ships, and then there are, as we mentioned, shuttles that will bring us in and that kind of stuff. As we get there, the sort of queue to have your ship parked in the net is longer than any of you have ever expected or experienced. Even like the wait time, they'd probably be like, you are 700th in the queue and the wait is 3 hours a shift or so, that kind of stuff. This is like you are 1,000th in the queue, but your wait is like a whole day. Like you're just literally going to be sat at a point that net traffic control says wait.
And then we get Shanaz to throw a tantrum and do who I am.
I'm going to give them each a talisman.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
If that's what you want, Shanaz.
I mean, it's entirely up to Shanaz, so.
I mean, that would.
I could probably call some people, pull some strings, if you want.
Would definitely make it known you're here.
We don't have a problem with that
I
particularly?
don't think so, no. I mean, we're just chasing up like 4 or 5 different leads, aren't we? We don't have a vendetta or a concrete agenda, I don't think.
Do we want to find out if there's anybody who's got one towards us? Are we going in subtly, or are we just like walking in through the front door and going ta-da?
I mean, the
Stick
second
back in
one
every
is much
turn.
more our style, I think, but
I'll make some calls.
you can do it the other way if that's what people want.
Right. Let's. Is there someone specific you call, or are you just going to try and drop a couple of messages in and see who bites first?
I think I'll probably do it that way. I mean, I'm well connected and I'm Shanaz, so.
Let's just. How many culture points have you got?
I have got 3 culture points.
All right, let's roll 3 dice.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's use that culture skill.
2 successes.
2. Okay. So.
Got 3 dice.
Nice.
I
Excellent
love
hit
these
rate.
dice. Thanks, Necron dice.
Mm.
That's it now. I'm going to flub my first manipulation roll.
Teachable moment for the first time ever for Shanaz. No, they won't do what I want. Oh, we do have that a friend in every port talent as well.
Mhm.
Does that give you
That costs darkness points,
Yeah, I was
though.
going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to them all being used in a hilarious fashion, so.
I am just going to look up. the
Decided to
name.
actually go for clairvoyant.
Oh, okay.
Means I get visions of where an object or a person can be found, because I was thinking of like searching for mines and locating people kind of thing.
Nice.
The GM describes what forms of vision take. Objects I own or have owned are easier to locate than one
Cool.
described. And Silsila's talisman looks like a little ship. They're a bit crude and they're made out of,
Chewing gum.
crap. And Shanaz's talisman looks like a star.
Oh.
I do have, so Millie, I've got the well-connected talent, which is one of the ones from one of the new books.
Yes. I'm just looking up some names.
Oh, but actually, it occurs to me, I've got those books now, so I can just look it up myself.
Pesky new books.
Books for the win.
Come on. All right. So we reach out to a bunch of folks. The first one to sort of respond, and it's not them itself, but it comes from what would it be? It would be something like from the desk or from the office of Terminos Lete, who is the Council of Factions, the Coriolis Council's Alarm's Temple representative.
Oh, good. Always comforting.
Yeah. And they offer one of the temples, maybe one of the temple's retainer spaces in the net, which are reasonably close to Coriolis, and like you won't have to get much of a thing in. And yeah, reasonably easy to get in. And then the other one is from
always cute. Local assassin at large offers you something for free.
The other one is, and it's possibly not someone you contacted, but like through your potentially Shanaz has been like, do you know anybody who could get us out the queue quicker? The other one comes from, curiously, another office of Council of Factions, and this is Moana Passa's office, who are from the consortium, but they take the foundation seat on Coriolis.
Now, if I'm Foundation or Zenithian,
Yes.
and Alarms Temple are first come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we've got a choice there, then, gentlemen.
The Foundation actually offer a dock at Coriolis,
Wow.
which is astronomically expensive. Which is another thing you will have noticed. Like all the net fees, not only is the wait longer, the prices has doubled.
I mean, that's going to cost us somewhere down the line.
I mean, I meant to ask, do we actually have money? Don't have any voucher sheets. I think we got like 1,400 that we.
I've got 2,600 because we had a bit last time.
Yeah,
from the whole robbing the mine lord thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have some money, but it's a little bit sort of like Firefly in that, you know, money is quickly gone again.
Yeah, I was going to buy a gun at some point.
So yeah, you could probably buy a bit of kit. You would have potentially had to. I mean, if you don't want it to be specifically the Mine Lord's money, you might have had to send it on a bit of a merry dance, if that makes sense.
I think that would have been something that probably Shanaz would have handled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't keep the vast majority of that money. We were handing it over to Alarms and keeping enough to keep us going for a while. So we'll have sort of a bit of cash, but not loads.
Yeah, what's a ballpark for a bit? Like, have we got like
I don't know.
5,000 bear, 200 bear?
Put 3,000 down, and I guess Yusuf and Shanaz can lift. Like if you've got anything else on, add an extra 2.
Yeah, we had a little bit anyway, didn't we?
And then you've still got some change from Gina, like weird Gina notes.
And I swapped all that for coffee pods.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to order some Tassimo pods.
Yeah.
Space.
That was really.
How much does 4,600 beer get me? That gives me 460 refills, right? Cool.
Yeah, I was quite pleased. We were like, let's take their coffee machine, like a real personal thing. Like, I hate these guys. I'll take the one nice thing they've got because they're dicks. Anyway, yes, my apologies. Thank you.
Okay. So
that's okay. I was trying to find that talent and I couldn't. So,
I'll find it for us.
We have to pick which one we want. Then.
It's not urgent. I mean, I know what it is. It's well connected, and it says that I know people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you've got Alarms Temple saying we could get you one of our permanent spots in the net, which would jump you through a queue. And then the Foundation saying we've got an empty dock at Coriolis. You could come pretty quick.
Well, your choice. I suspect
Yusuf's not going to say anything, but he's going to look like we should wait in line like everybody else. But he's just going to leave the room because he realizes also that's not a very useful opinion in this situation.
But what's the political ramifications of taking the top spot then?
If we jump straight into the dock, the consortium are going to expect something from us. And that is us showing support for a Zenithian faction. And if the factions
I walk back in the room,
becoming somewhat antagonistic to each other, it may not be a great idea to show favoritism that way. However, the other way, we're still showing favoritism, which is showing favoritism to a first come faction, although it's in my best interest to be as nice as possible to the Alarms Temple at the minute.
They do charitable works, right?
Yes, they do.
Well,
I mean, they do things for free.
It's better with me than consortium ourselves.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't think Silsilla likes the consortium. Although I am now technically a Zenithian, aren't I, from my genetic
You know you're not,
Redux.
right?
Of
You know
course
you
I
really
know,
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still
mean-
thinks
Just
it's
making sure.
hilarious. Like he mentions
I like
it all the
maybe
time.
that over the episode, Silsilla convinces himself. That would be amazing.
Next time I show up wearing a crown, don't worry about it.
The Colonial Agency is a branch of the consortium.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
still
yeah.
would
But he
be-
doesn't really like. That's the past, isn't it? So we're definitely avoiding
The
that.
dark past.
Maybe it's
I
just
think
shades
that
of grey,
the
just really
consortium,
light one.
the consortium comes with a price tag.
So I guess for Silsilla, it's either we can have fun disappointing the consortium, or we can see what trouble the temple wants us to get into.
Like, remember Varian? Way back in the hospital, he was from the Foundation in the consortium. Like, and we just made him so sad. He'd just be sad again. Like, oh, they still hate me.
You know what? I'm going to change my mind. Let's go and disappoint the consortium in a meaningful way. However, if you guys pick the other one, I'll go with that.
How do you say, Captain?
I've got to say, I'm happier with the alarm offer. I know it still leaves us in the queue for longer, but
Okay. Then.
I don't trust the consortium at the minute.
Oh, I don't either. I just
What
think
trouble are we going to get in at the temple?
More your kind of trouble.
Yusuf has little knowledge of the big wide world, so he's just like, it's a temple.
Yeah, he's all peaceful and yes. You know what, Shanaz, that's fine. I think Shanaz has a better grasp of the political landscape than we do. As much fun as it would be to barrel roll into the primo birth. I mean, if you're going to go there, you got to arrive in style, haven't you? Just flip the ship and use the afterburners to slow you down.
Tempt Millie to use darkness points.
So yes, we will go to the temple and perhaps a little more inconspicuously arrive.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll send thank yous. Thanks to both of them. Accept the offer from Alarm and politely rebuff the consortium offer by saying that I already accepted another offer and I'd be happy to discuss business with them in the future.
Okay. Like they they take it quite gracefully. You do note, however, that the ship is marked for customs inspection almost like immediately after you been like,
Imagine
okay.
that.
Okay, we have a place to
Kirsch,
dock
hide
now,
that
thank
lizard.
No, don't hide the lizard. Leave the lizard right out there in the
lizard's the
open.
best
In fact, put a
distraction we've
T-shirt
got.
on the lizard.
Oh hell yeah! See, even Shanaz is getting in on the merchandise now.
Yeah. So
I just want to watch you two put a T-shirt on the lizard.
I mean, that would be funny, to be fair. Is there a wrestle skill? I need to learn that instead of executioner. Lizard wrestler.
I'm like the backup technician. I'm not just the dog's body. I'm not mud wrestling a lizard for you guys' entertainment.
Oh, I was going to join in.
Oh.
Like, I think it's a really good idea. Like, we want to, getting people to not take you seriously is a talent, isn't it? So, showing up, they come for the customs inspection where we're trying to put a T-shirt on a lizard.
Yeah, and
we
they're
don't
like,
look like
oh
international
my god,
drug-
these idiots are
Yeah,
so
exactly.
incompetent. They couldn't do anything.
And then I can
Okay.
ask them for help and distract them. So,
but yeah, you are immediately notified for routine search and customs inspection.
I mean, we don't have any money, weapons, really, or anything else that would be a problem. Unless they're going to plant it, which will be interesting.
So
I imagine they probably just think, oh, these people don't want to go with the consortium offering them a really good deal. They must be up to something sus. We better check them out.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So you get a notification shortly after you've thanked the temple for their parking spot. You're given a point with which to turn off and a vector to follow and all that kind of stuff. And at some point they will give you a docking AI will take over, that kind of stuff. and that sort of thing. But even like you're astounded by two things, like the cost that's being charged for a lot of these things, and the volume of people waiting. Like nobody, like it doesn't seem like many other people are being able to do what you have, nor are like people like the Cyclade. The queue to join Coriolis gets very big, and in that time you get folks being like, well, we will, like fast pass style sort of stuff, or the save your place sort of thing, that you get you get at theme parks, and they'll go down to Kua, or they'll go down to Monolith, and do things on a planet, and then come back up to Coriolis at their appointed docking point. This is not happening. Like at some point, Coriolis traffic controllers went, no, too many people to manage that. Literally stay in a queue. Literally wait there. Like we need to see that you're, that kind of stuff, and pay up front. We're not taking payment on dock. You need to pay now, and that kind of stuff. So it's all kinds of stuff like that.
Can we charge people if we've got a shortcut to get on board?
You want to charge people to jump onto your ship, and come into Coriolis?
Not much,
I mean, we could just pick up some, like, I don't know, pilgrims or something. I mean, we are going to a temple. But yeah, okay, no worries.
Going to a temple, we just used their parking spot.
I mean, they don't physically have a temple on Coriolis, unless you're going to class the Courtesan Academy. They technically,
would like to visit that though.
Yeah. Nina Jack is
Just
like
ask.
plastered to the nearest monitor that has got a camera pointing outside, and is like,
oh yeah, I forgot we took her off that backwater, and now we're in real civilization.
and she's like, oh my god, you could fit my whole place in that, like, and she's pointing at like another ship, and you have to like turn the camera to face Coriolis, and she's like, oh by the icon, that kind of stuff. That sort of absolute awe of what's going on.
I'll tell her that she now owns quite a lot of Coriolis.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? I couldn't believe it the first time I saw it.
It's like, and she, she is clearly like a bright young, I think she's like, it's nearly like 6 kilometers, like she reels off like what it could be based on like she knows stuff, and she's not far off the mark, and she's like, there must be more than, it would take this many kilojoules of gigawatts and that kind of stuff to run that, and is that kind of stuff, and like it's just like Kirsch and her would have a ball, and Adia would need a deep pool to sit in again, to come back off the ledge of nerds, as she might shout.
We need to take Nina Jack on a tour of the cool spots of Coriolis.
But eventually we dock. The customs inspection, we don't have any contraband, do we?
No. Unless the lizard counts.
I think so the Coriolis.
Oh, the darkness points went down.
They did. Something. They don't take Kirsch's lizard. They do impose a fine, which seems like they just make up, like they just sort of pluck this number of burr out the air. You're uncertain whether some of this fine is really the inspectors are gonna push over to their petty cash for the department money kind of thing. And they warn you to present an animal permit to the Coriolis guards within the next novena. You've got 9 days to prove or to have some sort of vet check that it's not a vicious contraband animal, for some sort of, I don't know, illegal eating or
good luck to them if they try and eat that.
breeding or that kind of stuff. The other thing is this lizard started to stink. This is not a nice lizard. However, Kirsch, who is the most fragrant member of the crew, as Skavaran have pheromones kind of stuff as part of their communications, Kirsch doesn't seem to mind. The lizard quite likes Kirsch. It's very stinky in that room.
I mean, it's a spaceship. We got scrubbers and stuff, and we don't live in Kirsch's room, so
no, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, you are harassed, and this seems to be quite a thorough inspection. But eventually, you get on Coriolis. There's a shuttle from your port of the net. It's crowded. Like, you're fairly sure the capacity of this shuttle is exceeded. And Yusuf might notice it over anybody else. Also looks like there's less staff. Like it's potentially there's one stevedore, one pilot, whereas normally you'd have maybe 2 or 3 stevedores to sort of move the luggage, the baggage, that kind of
I'm carrying
stuff.
everything. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
It does look like that exodus they experienced hasn't been cleared up yet.
that's why there's less traffic. So therefore, prices have gone up to maintain the same profit level.
All the people who actually do the real work aren't here, so they just can't process all those ships.
Possible, but unlikely. Remember, a lot of the people that left were
all the
religious
rich
fundamentalists, and
Yeah, they probably took all their stuff with them.
council as well. Yeah,
but their staff wouldn't be processing ships coming in. We'll find it. I'm sure
We'll find out. I'm sure we'll see what's going on pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. So we dock. Where would? Can I have the book back, please?
yes, I
'Cause just
realised that you would want it. So there it is.
I want to see. Because there's the Neotra spaceport, which is pretty much where this whole campaign started. However, that's just the cheap spaceport. I do believe Alarm's Temple might have slightly nicer space.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of respect to the temple, Silsila would have just landed it like a leaf falling on the ground, as in very gently, not in a sort of random crazy direction.
Not getting impaled by a giant tree.
No. I mean, if they have trees in a landing bay, that does seem like a design fault, to be honest with you. Well, yeah. Well, I guess if Yusuf, mentions the fact, then I guess we.
Oh yeah. I would have just been like, "Where is everyone?"
Yeah. I wonder if there's more crime here now. If the standards have really slipped. Because if I remember correctly, a lot of the council.
Is that what you're saying? All the working people are, or they're off doing crime? Is that what you think?
I don't know why you would jump to that conclusion, Yusuf. Are you feeling okay?
Sorry. Back in Coriolis, I'm on defensive.
Mind, so
sorry.
That's not what I think.
No, I know.
But yeah, like a lot of the council fled as well, didn't they? If I remember correctly, it's kind of weird.
About
but
a third of them.
Like so far above like what I was thinking at the time. Now it's a bit like, did ones are they the cultists? Is everyone a cultist now? I think Cecil was a little bit obsessed with this. Like, now you told me that there are cults and they worship like heretical versions of the icons. I'm like, that does not seem very good. But also,
it's not good, but
something
I
I
don't
can
think
do a thing
everyone
about.
on Coriolis is one of them.
No.
At a guess.
Well, I imagine all the power balance must have shifted significantly as well. I wonder if that's why the consortium have got the primo spot.
So we dock at the spaceport, which is attached to the Spring Plaza, which is almost on the opposite side of Coriolis to the Vice Plaza, I think. Shanaz might know this plaza. In the middle of it, it has a huge fountain that was donated by Dar Bahari from the Baron. And it's like like if you had this under Baron, it would be the most opulent fountain ever because it's huge, it's full of water. It's probably not, it's not even under a dome, so the water makes vapor. There's moisture in the air, that kind of stuff. Whereas on Coriolis, people are like, oh, it's a fountain, pretty. If I sit close to it, people can't eavesdrop. That sort of stuff.
I think I might be developing the mystic's disease because I can hear the thoughts coming from Yusuf's mind.
They're just leaking out.
Yeah.
Just like super visible on your face.
And the Spring Plaza is like it has a lot of exotic goods, but it also has like people on soapboxes like preaching or political sort of commentary, and there's loads of like tabacs, coffee shops, cantinas, and like places to sit. Like it's like the philosophers, the sort of plaza kind of thing. It's also I think not far from. No, that's wrong. I'm getting my Coriolis wrong. But yeah, it's a big sort of place of communication and talking. And that's sort of where you lead on to. At the end of this segment is a celebration called the Founding, which is when the Coriolis station was like founded. It's a third of the way through the year. And it's sort of an event which kind of remarks upon everybody who's died and lost their lives or given up everything for the founding of Coriolis Station, or in the past year of service to the Coriolis Station. It's also a place of like going forward, like an end to the grief of their loss, and now we can go forwards. But lots of folks also use it as the point to go forward with new deals, new trade. If the Cyclade is the start of the year, those past couple of segments are like the take stock and learn where you are in the world, and then the Founding is like now you've got like the rest of the year to go and make your resolutions happen, kind of thing. So there are loads of people sort of, especially as you come on board, kind of hawking offerings to the Lady of Tears, that kind of stuff. Just for you to take to the Temple of the Icons or the local little chapels. And then there's also lots of stuff for the gambler. Like the gamblers, this segment is dedicated to them, but also like a thing, you want to sort of make your offering to the gambler so that your new beginning has got the gambler's blessing. Like he's gonna let you roll well, or your deals will be better. Everybody's doing it, so how can you favor everybody? But if you do the best with the best offering to the gambler,
but everybody who's not doing it, they're the ones that are screwed.
Yeah.
Is there anybody waiting for us, or is this a situation where we're expected to go and pay our respects?
There is surprisingly nobody sort of waiting for you. Nobody kind of stopping about and like with a card that says Shanaz on it, or Shanam, or Shabazz, or
somehow I don't think that Alarm's Temple would get it wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not me. You know what me? You want Shabazz? Doesn't look anything like me. Look at this T-shirt.
Show a picture of the lizard. Look at this.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nobody waiting for you. It seems like whether they want you to call in whatever favor you're now or later, you are as it seems at your kind of leisure, your discretion to do what thou will.
Well,
I might go and make an offering to the gambler of the talisman I just made on the ship on the way here, which was a little. I mean, they're crap. I'm not very artistic, but it's supposed to be like
the point.
Dice.
You made it yourself. It's the kind of present that shows the most love.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like dice.
The
it's not very good.
Dodecahedron things.
Yeah. So two connected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of like almost like they'd hang from a mirror in a cockpit or something.
At least it's not a toilet roll tube covered in pasta shells.
This is true. This is true. It's metal that I've worked. and I will. It's a special talisman that would give me a bonus, but I'm going to give it up to the gambler.
But if you pray in a chapel, do something called preparatory prayer for that specific icon. If you were to push a roll and use the skill they're associated with, you get extra dice in your push.
Oh,
Preparatory prayer. All right.
I will do. Yeah.
Are you going to the little temple? Like there's little temples around off most of the plazas, that kind of stuff. Or are you going to the big honking chapel of the icons, which is in the core, and it's huge?
That's probably a bit much for me. I'm thinking like some down and out back alley temple to the gambler. That's like, the last hope of the downtrodden who have nothing, and they go there and they ask for their chance. That's the kind of place I'm looking for.
Lucky Hazim's shoe shop, pawnbrokers, and temple to the gambler.
Yeah, exactly.
Open Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Yeah,
Outdoor casino or a lotto store.
yeah,
Those
perfect.
scratch cards and that.
Yeah, that's the kind of place.
All right, so
There's dripping water there for some reason.
all right, so you need to maybe make your way off of Spring Plaza, because it's a really nice plaza. Like it's a lovely place, and wind your way through Coriolis for a bit. When Yusuf sort of breaks off to do that, does anybody follow him? Is anybody going to go to chapel with him? Do we want to go to the fancier chapel? Is there anything else like?
So
Somebody needs to put child reins on Ninjajack before they run into Coriolis and probably get in trouble.
well, I was gonna go and see like either the Colonial Agency office or like the bar where they would all go to.
Okay.
Unless Shinaz has something that she requires a companion for, in which case I will do that instead. Need someone to be the man who carries your bags, etc. for the look of it.
No, that's okay. I'm going to push out my socials and send out contacts, see what's going on, reattach to the network here. And I might take these three. No, you can't bring the lizard. No, because it doesn't have a permit.
I need lizard. I
No.
have friends in cellar. We can trade lizard for.
And Kirsch puts her hands over the lizard's head.
And trade lizard for capybara. 2 capybara, 1 lizard.
Okay, we'll do that later. But first, we have to take a look around, meet some people. You've obviously you have been to Coriolis before, then, Kirsch?
Yes, but not.
And she gestures at like the glory.
Don't like.
And puts her hood up.
Don't like me up here. Live downstairs.
They'll
Come with me.
Okay.
If those people come for a license and we sold the lizard for capybara, is that our problem? Is the question I really want to find the answer to.
We don't have a lizard. What are you
I know.
talking about?
It was a
Do you see a
capybara.
lizard?
Painted it green, you dicks.
It's 2 capybara in a t-shirt.
Yes.
Right, so Kirsch is going to go with
Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants to.
Yeah, she will definitely. She does like. She's
We probably
Skavaran.
shouldn't all go individually, should we? We
Yeah.
should
She's
probably.
Skavaran,
Adia, could
so
you
she's
stick-
not really allowed up here. There are looks.
Yeah, that's cool.
Being
I feel a
thrown.
bit the same way, to be honest.
Adia, can you stick with Silsilla?
Sure.
I think Silsilla would be glaring at anyone who's glaring at either Yusuf or Kirsch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, what's the new girl called?
Ninjajack.
Ninjajack. And the science guy.
Homer. Okay, so Homer, ever since leaving Gina, has been furious, right? So furious he's reached childish levels of not talking to people because he didn't get to finish his research.
Oh, sorry you didn't die under a landslide, you prick.
It's fine. I'll take these two, get them acclimatized, ID passes, that kind of thing, and sort them out. You go do your thing, and then I'll see what my contacts bring back later.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take Nina Jack and Homer
Uh-huh.
and go and get them logged with the station if they aren't already. I'm guessing Homer might be, but Nina Jack almost definitely isn't.
No, Nina Jack has never left Gina before in her life. She's in awe of it. Like,
Well,
to
we
get
don't want to
here,
lose her.
yeah, it's a very real thing. Could lose a small teenager. No,
Yeah.
a teenager in Coriolis. Never ever see them again. And Homer is just like, I'm not talking to you. You don't know the amount of research I've lost. I should probably go to an academy here and tell them of everything.
Taking you to an academy here, Homer.
Yeah, he's very salty about everything.
I gave him all the pictures I took.
Yeah, he's got all the data we could still collect for him.
Mhm.
So I will take him to college, institute, polytechnic, what have you.
Something. Okay.
If he's not going to stick with us and he's going to be salty about it, I will get him ID'd, drop him off, put in a good word for him.
Yeah, he's obviously some element of him is grateful that he's had his life saved, and he gets to do further research. The other half of him is like, he's trying to explain to folks, like he would have loved speaking with Jafar, because the intricacies of how he's talking about humanites, and maybe Adia has listened to him a bit, but then got lost in the.
Well, in that case, I'll just take him to Jafar then, and Jafar can get him into the university.
Okay, so we're going to try and find Jafar. We probably have a contact for him. Introduce him to Jafar, and they get on really well. Jafar is possibly a little bit condescending in French.
No.
Not Belgian, as we were talking about on a Discord about a certain GIF, but French. Yeah, they get on like a house on fire. They're talking about like the biocodes that he found on Gina shouldn't have matched up with some of the recorded biocodes that they found in different places, which indicates like a different, and it gets down like a really sort of, and then Jafar is like, oh, I've just talked about this kind, and you close the door as
they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. We can go now.
Yeah.
Come on, Nina Jack. Let me show you around.
Nina Jack wants to see the what is the it's the Foundation Academy of Engineers is one of the Foundation's College of Engineers is as one of the places she wants to have a look at. There's also the Free League's General College. She's interested in that. And she's very excited to kind of go and get prospectus and that kind of stuff. There's the Colonial Agency's School of Higher Education that she maybe, like, if the other two won't accept me, that kind of stuff. And like the student sort of plaza, the student district, university district, and that is just like buzz, because a lot of folks, like after finishing one sort of set of study, can either enlist for a further Cyclade of study or graduate and that kind of stuff. And that typically happens like at the foundation. Like you put aside your previous years of study, you reflect on what you've learned, and at the founding, you go forward with your next year.
Still, Scylla could probably help with the Colonial Agency if it comes down to it. The other ones sound better.
Yeah. So the Colonial Agency School of Higher Education is all about as many different things to create better colonists, because that's what they want, or colonist administrators, or that kind of stuff. So they do a lot of like rough and ready sort of education, and they have a lower bar to entry because they want more colonists.
Where does she want to go?
Nina Jack is just amazed that all these places might consider her. And
that's not a problem.
She's read about them in that sort of teenage way of I've downloaded the prospectus and now planned a whole life based around acceptance on this course. But I want all 5 of the lives I've planned.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So she's just like, oh, that's the such and such and such, and that's the statue of so and so and such. And do you know that in Coriolis year 15, this foundation was, that kind of stuff. And,
I did know that, funnily enough.
yeah. The thing is like Shanaz is walking around, and obviously Shanaz.
It's quite pretty refreshing hearing it through this total newbie's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's because Shanaz would have studied at the Courtesan Academy here on Coriolis, as we said. So it's it's part of the university district kind of thing. But the thing that strikes Shanaz as odd is that the Courtesan Academy is not accepting anybody at this foundation. Like, there are no new courtesans being accepted. If you've already done part of your studies, that's fine. But there is like a bit of a I guess she'd pick it up on like the local, holler or whatever we called the Twitter, that kind of stuff. It's like people have come to Coriolis and arrived at the academy, and the academy have said, actually, we've rescinded all appointments. Like, they didn't put it out into the world. And it's only when they've arrived here at Coriolis that they went, actually, we're not interested. We've looked at your application, and we can't honour it. We won't honour it. You've not made the grade, kind of thing. But for a whole
cohort,
a whole educational.
Either a serious or a seriously dick move.
Yeah, except it's not from them. I sense that this might be from the main temple, possibly putting the blocker on them because of me.
And there are like swathes of folks, messages on like these boards and that kind of stuff. You would have expected it to have been maybe reported on the bulletin, like that kind of stuff would be great fodder for the bulletin, because obviously they're consortium driven. Any sort of way to, bring shade on that sort of stuff. Nobody's mentioned it.
All right, well, I shall make a note, or actually I'll reach out to some of my contacts there as well, with what's going on. This is a bit suspect kind of vibe. Shoot those messages out.
Mm-hmm.
Through my network, and keep talking to our little friend.
Yeah, Ninajak drags you everywhere in the most disorganized route around the whole university district, student district, that kind of stuff. And it's you definitely get your steps in after spending a number of Naveen, a number of weeks on a spaceship. Where does Silsila go?
So I think that Silsila's gonna find a bar that he knows is popular with the colonial agency types, and then just sit in a booth with Adia and get a few drinks, see if anyone he knows comes in, see if anyone comes over. I think he's gonna make a point of, when he goes to the bar, of counting out the bear, he's short on money.
Oh, okay. You're gonna...
Yeah, I want to see if anyone's oh, okay, I'm gonna leverage Silsila for something because it looks broke.
What is your... In fact, make an observation roll.
Okay. Observation, I have nothing in, and it is wits, so I get 4 dice. Oh, wow, I got 2 successes.
Right.
In fact, I got 2 6s and 2s. I must have played the spy game before.
So as you're sort of heading out, trying to find one of these sort of bars, you probably head across, catch a little a little tram around the ring of Coriolis over to Ozone Plaza, where a lot of like the bars and that kind of stuff. There's a whole sort of area of Legionnaire bars and stuff out that way, which will also have like colonial agency and that kind of stuff. As you're sort of heading there, you notice like there's a couple of folks who get on the kind of tram with you, and they get off at the same stop as you. And as you're showing like Adia like around and that kind of stuff, and like this was a good bar, don't go over there. That's where the Legion, you know, if you've not been there, you're not welcome. Maybe don't head down here. That kind of stuff. You head to one of these bars. These folks also sort of, and like you recognize their face, like they come in and they sit down at the bar as well, sort of thing.
Yeah, no worries. So I guess I will, like, first, do I recognize them, or do they look like they're wearing some kind of uniform or anything?
They're not wearing a uniform, but they are definitely like agents of some kind.
Okay, no worries then. So when I pay for my next drink, I'm gonna like not put enough coins on, so the bartender has to tell me I haven't put enough coins on, so I can make a bigger show of like counting beer out and things like that.
Yeah.
And then going back to my booth.
They just seem to watch, like they don't like watch you, but they are like,
yeah, they're looking in the mirror.
They're clearly paying attention to you having to leave your table and go somewhere, go to the bar rather than
Take the table, so.
Paying with a transactor and that kind of stuff. They're clearly paying attention to that.
Cool.
Like,
okay. I mean, could be. I wonder if it's the the people we turned down, because they presumably know where we went because the customs found us. Okay, then I guess I will have a couple of drinks, slowly, and then me and Adia will leave.
Okay.
See if they come with us.
And where are you going anywhere in particular? You just aimlessly walking
Is there
around?
anywhere that Adia wants to go?
Adia is feeling increasingly nervous. Like they have a polar neck on to hide their gills, kind of situation. Typically, when they've come to Coriolis, like Kirsch, they've not really spent much time. Like she's a human. They're a humanite, but they can pass as a normal person, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a bit like taking Yusuf to Alkamaz. Adia just feels naturally like they don't want to be here.
Okay. Would Adia prefer to go back to the ship, or is there somewhere else you would rather go?
They're looking and like, to be honest, Silsila, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be pushed around, but also a lot of folks watching us.
I mean, those two. I mean, we can go and find out what they want.
And Adia like literally looks over and goes, "Who?"
Never mind.
Like what?
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go back in and sit with some people in there. Is somewhere you normally go on Coriolis, or?
No. Like this is only like the third time we've been, and we've never been for more than maybe a day.
Okay.
We used to just follow the captain around. He'd do his deals, his business, or some of the stevedores are good folk. Like they're pretty hardworking. We'd go to what did they call it? Central or Stevedore Central. It's like down in the in between bits. Like we'd have some beers and things there.
All right. Well, either I can give you some beer to go there, or I'll come with you if you prefer.
I'm going to make the assumption that we have paid both Kirsch and
I think so,
Adia.
yeah, but yeah.
Like Adia's
we were
like
fairly adamant about that. I mean, does she want some company, or do they want company, or do they want to go there? I don't mind taking them there and then leaving. That's fine as well if they feel uncomfortable in the upper side of things.
Adia thinks about it, and they're like, "Nah, look, I think what's best is maybe I'll just take the day off, boss?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
they say that quite loud. Like, I'll just take the day off then, boss. No more business, right?
And I dismiss it and go, whatever, sure.
Okay.
Like I'll join in the play acting.
Yeah.
And I'll walk off before she leaves.
Yeah, Adia's like waves.
It's like I've dismissed them.
And then heads off. And they're heading towards like Neoptra Spaceport sort of entrance. That what is it? Ozone Plaza.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to go back in that bar and I'm going to order like a premium beer and pay with a transactor rather than get it brought to me rather than anything else.
So yeah, in this kind of like, there's been like, you've left a bit, you've wandered around a bit, you've come back. Like one of the folks who was sat at the table has clearly been like, oh, I've got to take a call outside on my, tabula, and they've gone outside, and then you've come back in, and they've come, and then Adia is left, and one of them is like, oh, I've got to go back outside. Like it's Silsila super obvious, like they're following you.
Oh yeah,
you and your
if
crew.
they don't come over in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to do the traditional thing of sending them a drink.
Okay, so you send them a drink, and Yusuf.
A really rude sounding drink, I hope.
Like, I don't know. I can't think of a Coriolis rude drink. Musaa Kula blue.
Yeah, I send them the Musaa Kula erectile dysfunction drink.
Rude. Yusuf, you've like
Standing monolith.
the monolith.
The monolith stander.
Yusuf, you've headed. You're trying to find like a shitty sort of chapel.
Shitty, but like those people don't need any luck, right?
Yeah.
They don't need luck from the gambler.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find a place where I'm like, the people who come here need the help of the gambler.
Okay. So we wander around a bit. We find ourselves in like literally like a casino sort of district. Like there's loads of little sort of slot machine, Pachenko, that kind of stuff areas, flashing lights, like,
crappy neon everywhere.
Crappy neon everywhere. No fridges found on this premises, because we had a murder in a casino. As you're kind of wandering around, there are a lot of folks with like stained black lips, which we might know is a
Burbacil, I believe.
Burbacil. Like they're big in their gambling kind of sort of, or the ancillary trade that might come with folks who are in debt. So it's that kind of area. Less folks are looking at Yusuf now because it's
my kind of place.
It's your kind of place, yeah. And you find this like semi-neon sort of shrine to the gambler out there. There's like tumbling dice on it, and all the sides are like the best number and that kind of stuff. There are people around with like trays of dice and packs of cards, lottery tickets, and that kind of stuff to give as offerings. And they're not real lottery tickets, but they're like, gold leaf sort of representations of that, or
like chocolate factory.
Yeah, like chocolate factory style stuff, and like pressed sort of metal pressed kind of you're a winner offerings and that kind of stuff, and stuff to leave on the shrine. And this shrine is unusually just to the gambler. Like normally most chapels will have all the faces of the icons, even the empty space for the faceless one, but this one is literally just like the gambler kind of thing. Hat and shit stuck all over and all around it, and also like cards stuck in it for like casinos or loan sharks and things like
other services.
Yes, other services, like stuck all around in this little, and it can't be more than like a 5-meter square room, that kind of stuff. And
sure.
There's a bowl underneath this effigy of the gambler that is, I imagine it's like a shrine to Elvis style neon sort of.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
kind of thing. And there's a bowl which has got like casino chips or like transactors like dropped in it, and obviously the transactors have a 0 on it and that kind of stuff. But you know, somebody's put in there to go back and win, that kind of stuff. And there's a few people sort of in there, that sort of thing, but nobody's paying attention to another like lost soul, if you will.
Yeah. I'll say to Kirsch, now this is a temple to the gambler.
She's like,
These people need all the fucking help they can get. And they've got nowhere else to turn.
It's very dangerous connection for the light over there. They should not be using that power coupling to power.
Yeah,
And-
I mean,
and
they've probably
Kirsch
got like 20
gestures to
things
everything.
plugged into it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's very overloaded. Also, I think they have hacked into the power connector.
Oh,
Is
definitely.
not
Definitely.
official.
We're probably backing onto something that they're sucking the juice out of.
Yeah.
Now, I've just got to do something quickly. So, like, keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, don't go fixing their power couplings or anything.
You see her putting like a tool back in a pouch
Yeah.
over her shoulder.
Okay.
Where's the lizard?
No, I couldn't. Shanaz would not let me bring.
Oh,
It's
a shame.
probably
anyway.
eaten everything.
Better not
Leaving
be
lizard.
near the pods.
Oh my god, can you imagine a lizard on 46 pods of coffee? Like a triceratops.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk over to the vestibule
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
the bowl and everything, and I'm going to take my little dice talisman out of my pocket, and I'm going to hold it in my hand,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say, "Gambler, I hope you give Mahmood the chance you gave me." And I'll throw it into the bowl. And I'll step back and I just kind of look around and think, probably not going to come back here.
Kirsch is like stood in the doorway looking at like,
You should not charge your thing here. It's very dangerous.
and the person's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Masterpiece,
sorry,
yeah.
excuse my friend. Excuse my friend.
It,
Or I might say, back up, bitch, you know, depending on
Depending on
the
the
you know, the
situation.
lingo of the street, you know.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah. So yeah, Kirsch is trying to advise somebody on the incorrect charging of their device in whatever it is. You drop this thing in. Nobody.
I'm going to try and use my clairvoyant power
Okay.
to see if I can. None of these things say they've got a range on them, right?
Uh-huh.
If I can know the location of Mahmood, my childhood friend,
Okay.
who I betrayed and left on Algol.
Okay.
Because I'd like to think maybe he found a way out as well.
All right. So make a Mystic Powers roll.
Sure. Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Oh, what's that? 1, 2 successes there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
So it's a
good.
bit dark there, isn't it?
Moody Coriolis lighting.
Yeah, 2 successes.
So was Mahmood also a mystic, or
That's a very good question. I hadn't thought about that. No, Mahmood, I mind walked Mahmood
Mhm.
and found out the security code on the shuttle that he was loading. And then I snuck on board and I could hear, you know, and in my mind, I knew that he got the blame for it. Maybe I mind walked him after and saw that he got the blame for it, kind of thing. But basically I screwed him over, took his opportunity to get out and took it. I didn't he wasn't necessarily hurt because of it, but I took his chance.
So you as you chuck it in, you take a moment. I hope Mahmood gets the chance that I had. The third horizon is harsh. The darkness point I would have got to from that roll, I will immediately spend to have him still in, and I don't know how you would kind of like how it presents, but there's definitely like,
It's up to you.
yeah, there's a feeling of like home and that dangerous kind of twinge of,
Oh dear.
of home, and that, he's still on Algol, still there, still in the same, probably that same dome sort
Yeah.
of thing.
That was a shithole.
No, Mahmoud has not yet escaped.
Fuck.
You wander off. You can stay if you want, but yes, Kirsch is advising somebody on how they shouldn't illegally charge their tabula from the panel that there's broken over in the side of the Gambler Temple.
I'm gonna
kind of thing.
just kind of not manhandle, but like gently coerce Kirsch. Come on, Kirsch, let's head off. And for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just going to take one of the cards, not for anything dodgy, but just for like a casino or something, or a taxi company or something like that.
Mhm.
Just because I feel like I've left something. I feel like I need to take something.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels like a little trade. So I'll pop that in my pocket.
All right. So as you're leaving, there's and it must happen everywhere on Coriolis. There's like people handing out flyers for come to this bar, come to that bar, do this thing, this kind of thing. You've seen less of that in this plaza, but there is something, and they're handing out like they're being selective as well. They're not picking like folks who perhaps are touristy. And you're here with a Skavaran who is like a lesser creature, so you're obviously not a rich folk, and they hand you they come over and they're like, are you part of the stevedores? Are you a stevedore? Which level are you on? Which base are you out of?
What? No, not quite, mate. I'm crew on a ship. I'm practically a stevedore for them,
And
as much as they give a shit.
They laugh, right? And Kirsch kind of frowns. Like, yeah. Listen.
Where are they? But we noticed, like, what's going on? There's like half of them gone or something, or.
Well, and he hands you like a flyer. Like,
I'll show him my tattoo,
like
my
tattoos,
my
work.
indentured tattoos
like,
and stuff. And I say, look,
Listen, we're thinking, we're trying to get enough of us to join the Free League. Like, if enough stevedores, we work together, we join the Free League. And he gives you this flyer, and it's got the Black Hands written on it. Sounds dodgy as heck, but like the picture is like Black Hands because of the dirt, like
the dirt. Yeah. Oh man, that gets me right. Like,
yeah, we're trying to, because the work has increased. The people coming, the refugees from Sadal and Mira, they're all coming here, and they're not paying us more for more work. We're still getting the same money per shift.
What?
And if we join, we get enough of us
man.
together, we join, we make our own membership to the Free League, then they'll negotiate with the consortium, with the government, and they'll
the consortium.
But they're on the council, and if enough of us, and
haven't they all sodded off somewhere?
Well, I don't know. Look,
what's going on? You go away for a couple of weeks, and like the whole place goes to the pot.
We just want to unionize. We just want to
sure.
Be part of the.
Give me hand. I'll take a few, and I'll say, look, man, I'm going to hand them out.
And he's like, really?
Yeah.
Look, if you can, and he gives you like on the back. There's like details of how to essentially join the Black Hands Union, and together they can put in the fee to become a member of the Free League, and the Free League can negotiate better rates for them and that kind of thing. And the Stevedores Union might exist, because previously it hasn't. They're just people who work for Coriolis and all around that kind of stuff. There's been no collective kind of thing. I love that this is actually and the guy is like, he like reaches forward, shakes your hand. Kirsch is like, are we friends?
Yeah.
And they look at the Skavara for the first time, like they've noticed her for the first time, and they're like, Do you want to join? And Kersh's like,
We'd need to consult on that just briefly.
okay.
And we've got a meeting to go to.
But tell you the other.
Oh, yeah.
Steamboats
I'll
on
give
your
me
ship,
10.
tell them-
I'll hand them out at
Yeah.
the meeting.
And he shakes your hand and
When's it all going down? Like, this sounds like you're trying to sort something out before something kicks off. Is there a date? Is there like a...
we
Are they
just
going to lock it down? Or
we're just exhausted. Like we don't.
I bet, man.
We get one shift off in 4, and it's not like there's so much to do. You should see like down in the
You
stevedore
need a
tunnels.
voice. You need a
it's like-
well-known
That's what.
public figure to step forward and speak for the workers. That's what you need.
And he's like, yeah, that's why we're made with the black hands. Yeah, and we can. I can't. Anyway,
I've
we
learned
got
about this thing called clout.
Those
Right.
stevedore Shanaz dolls are going to roll off the production
And this is I know some people who know some people. They're good people. They're not these, you know.
Niles from the Free League. They've said she'll represent us. We just need enough of us, and to
Oh,
pay
shit.
to pay the entrance into the Free League. Like we have.
How much is that?
He says it's like something like 50,000 credits. It's like a big sum.
Here's 2,000 credits.
He just looks at you like his little transactor, like the thing you would bump to, just goes badang, limit exceeded. And they're like, can
No, this shit needs to happen.
I?
These people can't have their way any way they want it.
He's like, I can't with this transact. Can I have your com code and I'll get like he's basically like, I can't take this money right now. Give me a contact and I'll get my
Safe transaction.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so he takes your stuff. What's his name? He doesn't have a name. This
Razor.
okay,
What's
yeah.
Arabic for Steve?
Steve the Stevedore. No,
It's Razor.
Reza. Okay, so he's like he shakes your hand and he is like clean, but you can see like the nails and the
Oh, hey, I don't care about that. My hands are dirty anyway.
no, but
Yusuf.
you can see like even though he's like presentably clean, like his hands are calloused,
Worn.
and, like,
Yeah, he's done a
dirty,
day's
the
work.
nails,
Yeah.
just every inch of them. In bed.
I'll shake his hand with an equally calloused hand.
Yeah, like I'll tell them we'll contact you. You can do you and your friend. They can join too. And Kirsch is like, I do not have 2,000 credits, 2,000 burr.
Be careful you don't start a movement, friend.
Well, that's the point. And he laughs.
I know a million folk in squalor in the dirty streets of Algol who'd like to hear what you're saying.
Well, we all become part of the Free League. Maybe we can. And he branches out into incredibly idealistic.
At which
kind
point I
of-
may then look at my watch and be like, look, I agree. Organize that transaction. I want to support you.
he like runs off with his black hand member, and they're already on a comm to somebody being like, I just met this amazing dude called Yusuf, right? You never believe it. He walked out the gamblers chapel. We just thought that's the story, like literally presented by the icons, the kind of thing. Skavaran with him, like totally weird. And Kirsch is like, that what happens when you play to your icons? People take all your money and run away.
I don't know.
What do you get if you didn't?
That felt like, I don't know.
Okay. What?
I mean, these people need to be represented better. They need help. They're all running around, falling over. They're probably collapsing from fatigue. The shit that I've seen, what people put the yoke that they put other people under, is disgusting.
It's very easy in Skavaran families. The person who puts the smell that is upset the most, you go help. You don't
Well,
have very
yeah.
good noses for people thing.
Well, unfortunately, the rich people have built nose plugs so that they can ignore the smell.
And Kirsch is like, that's abhorrent. Like, why would you masks smell? Ah,
Exactly.
maybe I could design. And they then wander off into a different. Maybe I could design something to break nose plugs. Can you get me nose plugs? You head off. One of the things you might have noticed, and I think only Shanaz has seen it when she was doing her checking the thing out, checking the news out at Caladrina. There are lots of pamphlets around, especially in this sort of area. And a lot of them are discarded. Some of them are used. You can see some of them have got, when people plan out like their betting strategy kind of thing on it, that sort of stuff. And they're all titled Children of the Song. And it's
Song.
Children of the Song.
Okay.
We are here for you, as the messenger is here for us all. Come to Coriolis and find your new family. Become a child of the song. Find true love and community. And they all have like a location on Coriolis to go to with like a guru name or something. And you gather, looking at a few of them, there are 3 or 4 of these Children of the Song communities around. Most of them seem to be in these odd, like the half levels, like the places where you're not, like stevedores might go or mystics might hide, kind of thing. Some of the pamphlets specifically talk about like, now that the Samaritan's gone, we can help care for your mystics and that kind of thing. And that sort of stuff.
Care for your mystics.
Yeah, okay.
Do we all see these?
I think given the location that Yusuf's gone, you're more likely to see more of them.
Okay.
Shanaz might pick up 1 or 2 in the students kind of area because there's a little bit more sort of liberal kind of thing. Over where the Silsilla is headed, like the Legion sort of area, and
Gammon country.
Probably. You don't really get. You might find one in which it's probably like got a knife through it or something like that. Mystics. What's wrong with the horizon, innit? Kind of conversation. Or up on an axe throwing board, because the Legion would have axe throwing ranges in their bars.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
They've all got those turbo arms, haven't they? So
Well, not all of them. Just the ones that got eaten by a beast on Kua.
higher capacity.
What happened to Zellion? By a beast.
What happened to Zellion stays in Zellion.
Or in the beast on Kua that ate him. Yeah. But yeah, you like Silsilla won't have encountered many of them. Shanaz might have encountered a few of them in a more sort of like, are these people a cult or are these people legit sort of conversation. And where Yusuf will have encountered them, they are that sort of like, if you're down and if you need support, we are here for you. We will care for, like, they're trying to
taking advantage.
It's 50-50.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah,
who
there's
knows?
2 or 3 of these communities, like, you definitely find out more about them than anywhere else. Kind of thing.
Well, I am kind of curious about mystics, so I might like message the others,
okay,
and say, "How are you guys getting on?"
I mean, we're all in the same, so you could essentially like have arranged to have food somewhere together.
Oh, that's a good
like
idea. Let's go and
an
have
evening meal once you've wandered off.
That sounds good.
Can
we get some pheasant June?
As long as it's not Alchemars, it's really oversubscribed at the minute. Despite not having many fancy people. So yeah, you find a place to sit down and have a meal together. Like,
do I find out what happens with my friendos?
Oh, your friendos, yeah. So you sit down with this person, because there's only one of them now. Adia's gone off to find a better bar. And they're like, sorry, can I help? I think you sent this drink to somebody else by mistake.
I'm like, no, I sent it to you. I just, bit of a loose end, just sat here by yourself, read some war stories.
Oh no, I don't have any war stories, friend. I'm really, really sorry. I'm not interested in company. Go find yourself a courtesan, pal. I'm not
I
up
don't mean
for
that
that.
part. I don't mean that kind of company. Just
And you can see like
share a
the
few drinks, game of char.
no. And they are like gathering their things and
I'm gonna try and beat them to it. I'm gonna pretend like I've got a text and go. Actually, you know what? I've got to go, and then I'm gonna very quickly leave,
okay.
presumably forcing them to follow me.
They don't actually follow you.
Oh, okay, that is interesting.
They don't follow you. They sort of like stop and sit down. You leave as fast as you can, and
Yeah.
they stay in the bar.
I have to go back and see them. Okay, they were surprisingly either really awful. I did wonder if they were being bad at following me, so I would notice and go and talk to them. But clearly, they were just bad at doing that.
Just bad at it. Yeah.
Yeah, amateur.
Bad spies. Rubbish spies.
Yeah, maybe not the colonial agency after all then. So, but okay, no worries then. Fine. I'll send Addy a message just to check that they're okay.
They send you back a thumbs up emoji, a beer emoji, and I don't know. That's it, I think.
Yeah, no worries. Fine, and I'll go to wherever we arrange to get food then.
Okay. Is it like super fancy, super shitty, or just modest?
I assumed it was one of the back cafe places so we can hide in the noise and overlook things, but
Back to like the spring plaza with all the people?
I mean, if Shinaz wants to go somewhere else, then that's okay, but
Yeah, but nah, it's fine.
this is where
I don't mind roughing it.
this is where you plan the crimes, you see.
Oh, you haven't seen the crimes I've seen planned.
Oh. You know what? We'll have to do like a work experience thing, like we'll
Yeah.
plan a
Government,
small
right, isn't it?
crime and you show us how to, like, I don't know, overthrow a government or something. Yeah.
Sure. I've only seen that twice, in fairness, but I think I've got a few pointers.
All right. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start, like, you know.
Well, I think Yusuf knows.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
Cool.
The stevedores will want to join the Free League.
Okay, that sounds good.
Does it though? It's good for the stevedores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? I'm helping them out.
And that's
They,
okay.
they
But
need money, obviously.
yeah, ramifications, knock on, cause and effect. Helping them helps the Free League. The Free League help the Zenithian faction. The Zenithian faction grow in strength and power. They push agendas. They move things around. This is
Just
one of the
like
reasons
some
why
people
you don't
need some
see
help, right?
Yeah, no, I understand that. And you're quite right. Some people do need some help.
Like all these children of the song things going on. Like
I
half
saw
of
some
them
of
are just
those.
people taking advantage of down and outs.
Yeah, that was my thinking. That it's got a really strong culty vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean, like when they first did them, they were fine, but then like the wankers and the dodgy gits like figure out they can get easily impressionable people in, and then they just take advantage of them, and then they get all their money and more. You know,
It's the song
gross.
itself that's a little bit sus to me
You think they're a
because
cult?
yes,
Like an actual cult.
well, there's certainly a cult involved. I mean,
Like those,
like
a
Yusuf
Mao
says,
that-
they
Nah.
may well be a bunch of grifters looking to profit off of an idea, but the idea itself it reeks of cult.
Yeah, but it's like
If the song is
like a
what I think the
mystic
song
thing.
is,
Why?
that's my thinking. I'm getting very, very unusual sense of connection.
Well, I know we've got close recently, Shinaz, but
Not that kind of connection. No. All right. Well, you know the group that we've dealt with twice now,
yes,
big into movement and dancing. which
Yes.
requires an element of music to it.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I'm-
It went there. It went
Yeah.
there.
That's where my mind's going.
Strong,
But I
interesting
think we should check it
cantinas.
out. I think we should check it out though.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Being
yes.
this connection of the M word.
I like it. We're like cult hunters. This is good. That feels like doing a good thing.
And I agree with Yusuf that we do need to do something to help people.
People
Okay.
need help, right? Like with everyone gone, there's no one running it properly. The stevedores are under huge pressure. The reason we didn't see many out on where we were is they're having to deal with all the shit that's coming in, that huge line of ships. And they're like passing out in the docking bays and like, fainting from exhaustion. And they don't care.
And
Surprise, surprise.
That shouldn't be happening.
No.
But
no.
your individual help can only go so far.
Yeah, but sure. But I want to help.
And that's fine. I understand that.
Yeah.
I think that rather than helping from the ground up,
I'm not going to
there
go.
is influence.
I'm going to give them some money. They need some money to pay someone to represent them. So I'm going to give them some money, all that I can.
How much did he need?
But I think there's like a bigger problem going on.
I agree.
And
I think that the representative might be taking advantage.
We're finding one corner of that. Like all this shit's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel
like whatever it is, people are using it to their own advantage. But how much money do those stevedores need?
They need to raise 50,000 to have Niles from the Free League represent them.
That seems
no,
crazy.
it's like there's a number of them, and they've got a
Millie,
fee.
that is my question there from a culture perspective. Are they being done? Is this a give me 50 grand and I'll represent you for a thanks for your 50
grand? There's a 100 fee for anyone to get coverage from the Free League, right?
50k is
absolutely. It's like a whole load of them. There's like a bunch of stevedores.
Big crime, little crime, Yusuf. Big crime, little crime.
Like so in terms of like the Free League, like they will. You can join the Free League as an individual, but for the Free League, like the way the consortium has a number of seats on the council, there is the council of thousands, and just to put a representative of an organization in that for a Cyclade is 9,000 burr just for one person, and obviously each vote and stuff. So what the Free League are potentially using, or with all the other stuff, is if they can get a number of votes in the council of that, which is the lower from the Coriolis council, like step down. So there's a definite a voting block of people they want to put in under the Free League banner, which they're saying will in turn shift.
So effectively, they could afford to put 5 people on the Council of Thousands, which would give them a 0.5% stake in the vote. That's not going to swing any change.
I mean, Yusuf doesn't know any of that stuff, and he doesn't care.
But he does now, because I've just explained it to him.
Sure. It's 0.5% more than they had before.
Agreed.
And they can shout loud and shout long.
But as a faction,
they could start a movement.
Like as a subsection of the Free League faction, like the Free League will have, so there'll be 9 people, and then there'll be another 4 or 5 from another place, and another, all under the Free League umbrella.
Union.
Yeah, so the Free League is a bunch of people who won't.
The Council of Thousands isn't thousands of people, is it? It's like
no, it's basically a council of give us entry fee, and we'll let you have say on the legislation and stuff that the Coriolis Council will then. Yes, it's like the House of Commons.
Take the system down from within
versus the Lords kind of situation.
I guess what I'm asking really is it likely that they are going to honour this alleged deal, or is this some dude called Niles trying to scam a bunch of poor people out of 50 grand?
Jezebel Niles is the leader, the Coriolis faction council for the Free League. And she's
they're
very...
a big name. It's pretty public. kind
Yeah,
of.
big name, pretty public. She's pretty much like, if you are a member of our free league, like the union of unions, if you will, we will preach on your.
So she is on the up and up, and it's not a scam.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
scam.
not a scam.
Like, the view
Definitely
of
not a scam.
the view of the free league in general is like they are
They're
very
the good guys, right? That's why the company who made the game named themselves after that faction.
yeah, obviously. Yeah,
Hey, look, they go up against the consortium. Yeah,
I guess it's a bit like
that's
the
enough
League
for
of
me.
Non-Aligned Worlds from Babylon 5
Yeah.
is the other way to think.
Oh man, who's going to be Sheridan?
Jezebel. That's
Cyclade is worked.
yeah.
All right, I can bring pressure to bear from a different direction.
Thank you.
Things can be said in ears that can affect change in ways other than screaming and shouting.
Yeah.
You know what, Yusuf? You can have my money as well. I was only going to spend it on a gun.
I don't know what to say.
Well, we'll go and mimes hitting.
They're gonna contact me because they couldn't take us. We were on level Zeta 12, and we couldn't do a safe transaction down there, as you can imagine. But
Wi-Fi
yeah,
not strong enough.
No, I suspect there
too
are. Like it was a gambling area, so I suspect there are like blocks.
Like limits, yeah.
guys who are just walking around going, Broop.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. NFT limit blocks, and also like give me all your money and I'll make sure you win kind of enforcement. Like there must be laws like that, at least on Coriolis.
I've
I
got a
don't know. Look,
surefire technique, guaranteed to work.
Mm-hmm.
I like. It just felt like the right thing.
No, I understand. You want to do the right thing, and that is a laudable prospect.
I may even give them the coffee machine. No, that's going too far.
No.
That's going too far.
Yes. Like, I like the way we came to Coriolis. Now we're like, let's start a union. Let's change the political landscape. We came here like, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to like see what happens. Now we're like, yeah, there's stuff happening, but we're starting a union for somebody else. They're starting their own union. We're just going to help them.
Dude, that's not the worst idea.
Then we can't help people back home, really. That's
We'll-
all I could think.
Their own union.
We can
all I
get
could
there.
think.
And in fairness, I'm starting a union, so sure, why not?
All right.
Guild, of course, it's a guild.
It's a guild, not a union,
Yeah.
but same, but
Which
different.
people call it a guild.
A uni guild. Sorry, excuse me.
I admonished myself visibly in front of you when I said that, Shanaz. He's like, feels bad for having said that to you.
Don't feel bad. There's a lot of very old-fashioned programming rattling around up here that needs.
And I've got a lot of hate I need to let go of.
You have, and I think in that regard we've been quite good for one another.
I think so. It's fucking weird. This like if 6 months ago, on my 3-minute break allowed for the day, if you'd told me that I'd be sitting here with you right now, eating this and drinking this, I would have punched you in the face.
You can't afford to punch me in the face.
Well, I would have found that out shortly after.
So we have this like Nina Jack's just there with her headphones on, reading through like prospectus, probably also on another tabula doing an entrance exam kind of thing, like multitasking. The longer you spend in her like close proximity, the more you realize like if she'd have been brought up on Coriolis, she would be one of the best engineers of the horizon. But she was born on Gina, a shithole, and
we're going to get her into school.
Yeah, but she's got like headphones on. She's looking over stuff. She's tapping that kind of stuff. Now and again, I suspect Shanaz pushes a bowl a little closer to her, and she goes, "Oh yeah, food." Kind of thing. My question is, are we staying here on Coriolis tonight, or are we going to go back to our ship and make sure the lizard hasn't eaten all the coffee?
I'm staying on Coriolis. It might be a good idea if someone went back to the ship.
I mean, Kirsch and Adia are more than capable of being that person.
That's true.
Don't feel pressured into, I just want to inquire.
I suggest that be the case then, and we go our separate ways and check in with other contacts. We all need to do something very different to one another. You've got a meeting to go to. Well, we've all got the same thing to do. We've all got meetings to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll all work better if we're not with each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Yusuf has like the contact of the Black Hand guy. He'd be like, "What's up? I'm not going to stay on my ship tonight. Free the people. Is there a bed?"
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
sure, Silsila can.
When they contact me to make the transaction,
Mhm.
I will say to him, "Have you got somewhere to crash tonight?"
Um,
As I deposit $3,000 into their account.
yeah, so they'll come back to you. Quite a late hour, but you gather it's only late by the bourgeois calendar of clock of Coriolis. Like, the stevedores are on shift all day, every day. So it's just in like the night shift they give you a contact, and he like there's another person who meets you, and he's again he's very definitely like a member of the stevedores. And he's called an Akbar, a stevedore Akbar, which means he runs a sort of team. Like he has like 10 stevedores who report to him. This is the Akbar for this area of Coriolis, kind of thing, and that sort of stuff. You gather like he is dealing a slightly higher person in the thing. You've just offered to pay $2,000 into it, and then you turn up and pay 3, kind of thing. And they are all like, you've no idea how much this means to us. We can, let us introduce you to everybody. And they're like, there's so many folks who want to meet you and understand, and it must be like,
I'm just a guy from Algol.
Yeah, and you keep saying that, and they're like, no, you're really changing the horizon. And they're like, to Shanaz, this would be like, yeah, no, this is exactly the sort of attention I get all the time. And they're looking at Yusuf like you've seen weirdos.
I'm slightly
look at Shanaz.
confused and embarrassed, and not sure kind of what to say, and just be like, say shit like, fuck the consortium every now and then. And stuff like that.
That kind of stuff.
No sleep till union.
Yeah. And they'll take you down into like the stevedore ways, which you gather are.
Oh, it's gonna get weird and sexy in a minute, isn't it?
No, not unless
the Zion orgy rises.
Yeah, like.
Oh no, it's not the Shanaz. Anyway.
No, but it's like Comrade Yusuf joins us for drinks kind of situation and that sort of thing.
Yeah, man.
And there's
it's exactly his kind of thing.
Steve Dorhooch is shared among.
How do we spread the word?
Well, we just and they go
on wider.
They're like, well, that kind of, and they'll sort you out with a bed is eventually what I'm saying.
Sure,
they'll find
sure.
you it's free for the next 2 shifts.
Can I get a can of, anyone got a can of Musaa Kula? I'm so
and they're
thirsty.
like, yeah. There's all kinds of bits that have fallen off a offload, that kind of stuff. That sort of thing. Where does Silsila want to stay? Is he gonna find like consortium digs? Is he gonna hire a room? Is he gonna go back to the ship with Adia and Kirsch?
I think I'm gonna go back to the ship, just in case the 2 clowns aren't actually clowns. Maybe sleeping in like a plot house isn't the best idea.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go back to the ship and check how everybody else is doing. Can I find out about the license we need for? Does Kirsch want a license, or is she actually going to get rid of it?
Kirsch is going to use the lizard for some sort of barter.
Right. Okay.
Like, Kirsch likes the lizard. But you gather with Skavarin, a lot of their culture is about the next trade kind of thing. And she's got a lizard. She's going to trade it up for 10 paper clips. Going to trade those 10 paper clips for some fiber optics. And
Within a year, she'll have a house.
Yeah, within a year, she'll have a hot tub with 10 capybara in it. Great.
Okay.
She cares for the lizard. She likes the lizard. But it's exclusively her lizard, so she can trade it for whatever the heck she wants. And that's the plan.
Yeah, that's fine. So it doesn't need a license. It's going to be somebody else's problem, basically. And we never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It ran away and disappeared.
Big kid stole it.
Yeah, on a bike and rode away.
Yeah. But yeah, she's not in the least bit bothered about it.
Okay, that's fine. In which case, yeah, no worries.
It's human bureaucracy that she's not really bothered about.
As an aside, do I need a license to carry my accelerator pistol around on the station? Because it's a small weapon, is that okay?
You will need a license, yes. But you only need a license before you get caught with one. Is the understanding here?
Yeah.
So the licenses cost the same amount as the gun.
I'll have a look how much that is.
Okay. So Shanaz is going to stay in.
I know Shanaz has got meetings for the rest of the night. She's not going to bed. She's got the temple to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's gonna, once everybody's done their courtesaning, it's probably time to call a courtesan guild meeting and get together with everybody there and have a chat. And then in the morning, when people start waking up, it's time to make an appointment with Niles from the Free League.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did I give Yusuf money or not? I know I am going to, but have I already done so?
If you would like to, I've given them 3,000 burr.
No worries. I guess before I go to sleep, I'll just send you one saying, don't need a license. Tell the Steves they can have the same from me.
You are a star. That'd be my response.
Going to the Steve.
I know, but I'm also from Algol, and I hate all this shit as well, so I just managed to escape in a different way.
Okay, excellent. So as we are funding social revolution of the Third Horizon, we will end tonight's session. Gonna go and read a book and find out what we've just done to the story. Excellent.
I'm willing to bet Founder Stevedore Union probably isn't in the storyline. Or maybe I'm wrong, because obviously I haven't read it, but that would be slightly anticipatory for a lot of people.
But yeah, thank you for joining us on Coriolis. It was great to actually come back to the station and see a little bit of what we've done.
Yeah, 20 sessions, and now we're actually on Coriolis.
I mean, we were here for a little bit.
We were.
Here for a little bit.
For an episode?
Exciting face fight that we tried to drive a school bus into.
Oh, yeah, the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It was actually really cool to see so many folks chatting on Twitch.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Lots of new folks too.
Yeah, welcome. What is it? It is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Traveller. More space.
It's a space week, isn't it?
It is space
week. We've got
week.
Pirates of Drynax episode 2.
Gosh.
How much violence can Dan's wolf boy enact on the local people?
I thought it was how much insults and health and safety could he stomach.
Yeah, but I think it's about to snap.
Okay.
So it's going to be right, claws out.
Claws out, knives out, claws out. All right. So that's tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Thursday, more space.
Fractured Empire.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys.
There you go, Graham. You wanted to play Star Wars?
Yeah.
I'd
We're trying to get Graham
love to join, but I run a Curse of Strahd game on Thursdays. Otherwise, I would absolutely be in there, and I love the whole universe, obviously. Run one on a different day ever.
They're tracking down Clem Lacuva on Malastair, and they may have to go to a very dangerous pod race. I
was going to say, they have pod racing on Malastair, don't they?
Yeah,
it's very fast, very dangerous.
Very dangerous. They even have battle pod racing.
Exciting. Exciting. I will.
My
make a
wife's
note.
Twilight Jedi did pod racing on Malastare once.
Cool.
Wow. Did they survive?
Yeah, what Jedi?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
We don't have a Jedi.
No.
We don't have a Jedi. And then North American time. We still Conaning, or are we gone back to Cthulhuing?
I think
Behind the
It's-
tentacle.
it's Conan.
Ooh.
I don't think
Ooh.
they did it last week, did they?
Okay, so some Conan over there. Lament the lack of space, and see enemies laid waste, and so on and so
Yes.
forth. And if you
Can't
missed
hear the lamentations of anybody in space.
in space, no one can hear you lament.
Lament. Brilliant.
And if you miss any of that, find it on YouTube at the weekend. There you go. But thank you very much for joining us, folks. Come and see us in the Discord, where we can pick a name for this lizard that Kirsch is going to trade. And also check out Patreon /Garbag Games, where you can find details of the ship that the lizard is currently destroying. I uploaded that.
My vote is Lost Leader.
Last leader. Yeah, trade the lizard. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I've had a wonderful night. It's great to see everybody. And goodbye.